KSL News at 10 starts now.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this Saturday night. I'm Dan Rascone along with Morgan Wolfe. Breaking news is out this evening out of Kearns after a motorcycle crash shuts down traffic.
Yes, and we did actually learn recently that the road did reopen in the area of 5400 South and 5030 West just about 10 minutes ago. But here's what happened earlier. Officers at the scene told us that the motorcyclist was riding westbound when he went off the road and hit a curb. He was not wearing a helmet at the time of the crash. The
victim was transported to the hospital with a head injury and was said to be in serious condition. Well, 155 bills have been passed by Utah lawmakers in the 2022 general session, from income tax cuts to traffic laws for merging to election revisions.
Yes, and one bill is being considered right now by lawmakers that has the support of actor Kevin Costner. Without the bill, he says that he'll take about 5 movies that he has planned to be filmed in Utah somewhere else. I spoke with the Utah Film Commission that explains how important our motion picture tax incentive program is for the growing movie industry. Do love some Yellowstone. All right, well, the bill is called SB 49, and right now it is heading towards the House. It just passed the Senate, so there's a few more steps that it has to take before it goes for a full vote. A reminder that this session ends in March.
A bill that would limit public access to certain records from government investigations is moving forward on Utah's Capitol Hill. House Bill 399 passed unanimously through the House Law Enforcement and Criminal Justice Committee yesterday. Under the legislation, Garrity statements would become protected under Utah's Government Records Access and Management Act, or GRAMA. The KSL investigation team have been following this bill closely and other legislation restricting access to public records. You can learn more at ksltv.com/investigates. Also on Capitol Hill, state lawmakers unanimously approved a $40 million bill to help preserve the Great Salt Lake. Under those House Bill 410, the money would help fund conservation efforts like improving flows to the lake, boosting the health of its watershed, and raising money through public and private partnerships. It comes as the lake hits record low levels, dropping nearly 11 feet due to diversions and drought. The bill now moves to the full House for consideration.
And it looks like young athletes were showing off their skills today in Park City with the hopes that maybe one day they'll be competing on the world stage. News specialist Brittany Tate reports on a unique winter festival promoting inclusion in younger generations. Moments ago, police told us that a man is out of the hospital after surviving a drive-by shooting near Redwood Road this evening. First responders found a man inside a car covered in glass from the shooting. Police told us that there are 2 crime scenes associated with this shooting, one at North Temple and North Cornell, then the other at 1530 West North Temple. Salt Lake City police believe the suspect or suspects fired the shots from a car and then took off. They're asking the public for help right now. So if you were in the area at all this evening, I believe it was around 5 o'clock. Send in any tips that you have to their non-emergency line, or you can leave an anonymous tip as well.
Redwood Road is back open after a West Jordan woman was killed in a crash near the intersection of 9200 South. It happened as a woman was entering Redwood Road from a private driveway. The road was closed for hours as police cleared the scene. A West Jordan police spokesperson is worried this unfortunate accident is part of a trend officers have seen in the last 2 years.
During our COVID outbreak that we've had, we've seen less vehicles on the road. People have been traveling at higher speeds. People haven't been paying as much attention to the roadway, resulting in more severe crashes and more fatalities.
West Jordan police investigating to see if a speed or any other distractions played a role in this crash.
All right, turning now to the pandemic in Utah. Governor Spencer Cox said today that we're in a much better place with vaccines, COVID treatments, and home testing.
It's time for our state's response to the pandemic to make the appropriate shift to better match where we are today.
The governor added that it is time to transition from an emergency response to what he's calling a steady state response. He was clear that it is not the end of COVID-19, but instead he is suggesting that we treat it more like other respiratory illnesses and viruses. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints announced that they're updating COVID-19 protocols. Local leaders will now decide on when and where masks should be worn. And according to the First Presidency, area and stake presidencies should work together to determine what precautions should be taken in their congregations, just based on the local guidance and data in the area. However, protocols will remain in place in church temples.
Good evening. Hopefully you've had a beautiful Saturday, as the weather has just been gorgeous, and we're going to see one more day of it before we start to see big changes moving in. Today we had highs in the mid-50s along the Wasatch Front, and down in St. George we topped out in the mid-60s, and we had sunshine everywhere. Tomorrow is the last of the warm weather. It's the warm before the storm. We start in the mid-30s and then we climb into the mid-50s, but we'll go from sunshine to cloudy skies, and by the time the sun goes down, some of us will start to see the chance for snow. We'll have the breakdown and how it may affect those travel plans on President's Day coming up.
Welcome back. Friends and family aren't allowed at the Beijing Olympic Games there, but Herman bobsledder Keisha Love heard a familiar voice before and after her races.
You know, I thought this was going to be, that voice was Alex Cabrero, but Olympic specialist Alex Cabrero, who's been to many Olympics, let me just point that out, is explaining why one voice is well known by a lot of sliding athletes.
Yeah, his name is Carl Refke, and he lives in Park City. He's here in Beijing, but he's not an athlete, a coach, a team staff member, a volunteer, or even a member of the media. Instead, he's here because of his voice.
I just go in big, ladies and...
Great story. Thanks a lot, Alex. Well, much of our lives revolves around social media, as we all know. Liking, retweeting, snapping, swiping right. It's all a normal part of the day. As news specialist Debbie Worthen shows us, that's Morgan Wolfe laughing back there. Social media is also giving us a behind-the-scenes look at a day in the life of Team USA athletes during their time in Beijing. Good stuff. Thanks a lot, Debbie. Well, a 2002 Olympic medalist was signing autographs today, 20 years after winning his Olympic hardware. Photojournalist Stuart Johnson takes us there.
You guys made the games. I mean, we wouldn't have had a games if it wasn't for the volunteers. And
it was a big deal when it was going on.
So you want me to sign your coat?
Huh? Yeah, sure.
Are you sure? Right here in the center?
Yeah, anywhere there.
Let's see, I'll do this here. To skate. How's that?
Sweet. The time for Bora here is, we did a world record.
Today is actually the anniversary of my gold medal race, so I think it's pretty special for me that I'm able to share it with the people of Salt Lake, right? I mean, I came here a year out from the games. I had this amazing 2 weeks. 20 years later, I'm here at a mall, you know, in Utah, and I'm meeting these Olympic fans that are seeing the medals for the first time. Yeah, put them on. Yeah, put them on.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh
Hey, can you see the ribbons? How this is 20 years of people putting them on and taking them off.
Derek Para was going to be here. I had to come because watching him back then was just incredible to me, and being able to meet him, he's so nice. He's just a nice man, and it was just great to visit with him.
And I blinked my eyes for just a second, and I saw all the faces of people that helped me get there. And that's where all the emotion came. See, I'm getting it back right now. That's where all the emotion came from, was just knowing that I didn't get there alone, and here I was on top of the podium, and they were there with me. So it was pretty powerful for me, for sure. Here, I'm 20 years later, it still gets me. So.
So cool.
So.
Thank you for sharing
no
time
worries.
with us.
No worries.
This is
Take care.
Wow.
Thanks. Take care.
Oh, he really is the nicest guy. Oh my gosh. Well, okay, there was something shaky happening in Utah today. Did you feel it? There was an earthquake this afternoon. We didn't notice it up here in Salt Lake, but the University of Utah seismograph stations confirmed that a quake happened just south of Richfield, so down in southern Utah area here. It was about a 3.5 magnitude quake and about 3:15 this afternoon. The epicenter was located 3.5 miles southeast of Sevier between Richfield and Beaver. A total of 22 earthquakes of magnitude 3 or greater have occurred within 16 miles of the epicenter of this quake since 1962. Wow.
Interesting. I didn't know I had no idea.
Who
I didn't feel anything.
Not me.
That's right.
No, and I'm glad.
Do you feel anything, Kristen?
No, definitely not. And let's just keep it that way. Let's just bring you back flashbacks. But we do have some earth-shaking weather to talk about because we are going to go from spring to a major winter blast in less than 24 hours. So get ready to get that heavy winter gear back out. In fact, get the stuff out for the coldest weather that you typically see because we're going to be looking at temperatures plummeting next week. It's 44 right now after we had highs in the mid-50s today. So temperatures are falling, but 44 is around almost our normal high for this time of the year. So it's really mild tonight. It's 31 in Logan, 40 in Delta. We have 49 in St. George, and then we have mid-30s out towards Moab. Skies are still mainly clear. You can see a little bit of cloud cover moving in from the north and west, and this is along this cold front. And that's going to be swinging in late tomorrow. So we'll start with some sunshine, but it's going to cloud up pretty quickly. Despite the clouds rolling in, we'll still squeeze in highs in the mid-50s in northern Utah, upper 60s down south. But by the time we wrap things up tomorrow, this is 7 p.m., snow's going to start to push in from the Idaho border, and it will continue to develop through the night. So Cache Valley is starting to see some of that snow first. Late Sunday night into very early Monday morning, we start to see snow developing along the Wasatch Front and the Wasatch Back into southwest Wyoming. And then by the time we wake up Monday morning, look at this at 9 a.m., we could be waking up to snow coming down and even accumulating along roads along the Wasatch Front. And this is also a time when a lot of folks are going to be traveling back from southern Utah for the holiday weekend. And we're going to see this developing into central and southern Utah. And so if you're heading north, be prepared that many areas down to Cedar City could be dealing with areas of snow and blowing snow as that front comes through. This is late in the day Monday, and you can see the showers start to target more of central and southern Utah at this point. Also across the east, we're looking at some snow, a rain-snow mix out towards Moab. And then the second system moves in on Tuesday. This one will focus more on central and southern Utah, and this is where we'll see accumulations going up even higher down to our south. And we get enough cold air moving in. It gets all the way down to southern Utah so that by Wednesday morning, we could be waking up to accumulating snow in St. George. So a big winter blast for all of us. Snow potential anywhere from 1 to 2 or 3 inches for the Wasatch Front. Some forecast models forecasting as high as 4 inches, maybe if we get some lake effect going. And then in the mountains, we're looking at a good 4 to 8 inches of snow there. Southern Utah, we could see more, 3 to 4 inches along the I-15 corridor, and then right around an inch in St. George will be possible. And then, of course, out towards Bryan Head, maybe up to a foot possible there. Your forecast for central Utah tomorrow, clouds increasing, but still mild, highs in the 50s for most of us. Southern Utah, upper 60s in St. George. We even get into the 60s in Moab, up to 61 degrees there. Beaver also looking very mild tomorrow. Your 7-day forecast showing President's Day. We'll have a chance for rain moving in on Monday in St. George, but north of there, we'll be looking at snow chances. A rain-snow mix possible Tuesday, and then we're back to snow on Wednesday. Highs in the 40s, lows in the low 20s. Northern Utah, mostly cloudy skies by late tomorrow night. We're looking at snow developing up towards Cache County, and then the Wasatch Front, a dry day tomorrow, mostly cloudy by the end of the day though, and then snow likely on Monday, Tuesday. Highs on Wednesday, upper 20s. Overnight lows will be in the low to mid-teens next week. Many areas down into the single digits and even below 0. Look how long this winter blast sticks around. By Saturday, we're still just getting back to the low 40s for highs. So it may feel like spring right now, but spring is over after tomorrow.
Bittersweet, I would say. It was nice having, what was it, like, oh, it felt like 60, 70 degrees today,
nice.
walking around outside.
Yeah.
But we need the snow.
We do.
Thanks,
right,
Kristen.
Thanks. We'll be right back.
All right, time for us to head home.
That's right. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for
having me. Great to have you there, Morgan. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see
you later.
Time and temperature brought to you by anyhourservices.com.